So honored to bring to the airwaves Staff Sergeant David Bellavia, decorated Iraq War veteran. He was awarded the Medal of Honor by President Trump in that White House ceremony last week. David, Sergeant, with the great privilege, we bring you back to the show and great respect, sir. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for jumping on the air with us, sir.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it, sir.
No, man, I'll tell you what. We've talked to you many, many times now. You're a Medal of Honor recipient. Congratulations. And, I mean, you're a very humble guy, too, Sergeant. But, to be at the White House, President Trump, and around your neck goes the Medal of Honor. Tell us what you're feeling, if you would.
Yeah, it's surreal. This happened 15 years ago. And so, you just live your life. You put the war behind you. You try to move forward, and then you get this call out of the blue. And, let's be honest, someone calls you and says, I want to talk about something that happened 50 years ago, you get a little bit, hey, now, maybe, talk to my attorney. What's going on here? So, I was a little concerned, and then they just, the President of the United States is on the phone. And it was just such a weird, there's no inkling of that this is coming. They don't tell you, you're under consideration or you made it through the quarterfinals. It's not a competition. It's a very secretive, very exhaustive investigative process. And in my case, it took 15 years.
Well, you know what, Sergeant David Bellavia, when you went into these darkened rooms, and I'm reading what you went through, and the reason that you got you received the Medal of Honor is because what you did. How can you walk us through the battle? Jack Jacobs is a friend, Colonel Jack Jacobs, another Medal of Honor recipient. And I always ask Jack, in the heat of the moment, what goes through your mind, David, if I may? And you're going from you're up and down, and it's dark. You can't see, man. You're back. What goes through your mind? I mean, is it the survival that gets you through moments like that in the heat of the battle, sir?
Yeah, well, it's so weird. First of all, Jack Jacobs growing up, in basic training, I had to memorize Jack Jacobs' citation.
Wow.
And I get to meet Jack Jacobs.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, no, and he's teaching me how to put the medal on, and I ask him, where did you learn this? And he tells me Audie Murphy taught him how to put his medal on. I mean, just to show you how just incredible this whole thing is. When you're in those situations, Joe, it's your confidence it ebbs and flows. You feel, I got this, I can do this, and then something happens, and you're just reminded that survivability on the battlefield is just dumb luck. There are so many skilled, incredible, professional warriors that get hit right at the doorway, and then there are guys that you just keep going until your luck runs out. And in this circumstance, I didn't really have most of these awards come from just a really poor, adjudication of your situational awareness. You're just like, how many people are in the house? Are there 2? Are there 6? Are there 20? I'm just going to keep going until, the good Lord decides I'm done. And in this case, I just got lucky. And, they can't see you either. So, I mean, that darkness, plays for both sides. I had night vision, but night vision works with a cat's eye. You need a little bit of lume for that night vision to work. But again, these guys that I served with, they came from every walk of American life. We look different, we think differently, but together in that house as a generation, we were one team. Yeah. And the American fighter is just, that's a hell of a team to be on.
Wait, David, you were with the night vision. That's I don't know how your perception with the night vision. I mean, how difficult is it? I mean, really?
It's the thing is that you've got other, it's so it's dark, but then you've got smoke involved, and then of course these guys had propane tanks and C4 all over the house. So now you're thinking, I'm not an expert in explosives, so what if my bullet sends something off? There's all these things going on in the back of your head. But the one thing is that you keep going forward. If you leave in a situation like that, you could easily be shot in the back, or you could be shot from the front. So it's just keep pushing. And what makes you keep pushing is the fact that the day before you had like two 19-year-old kids that saved your life, and the day after that there were two 20-year-old kids that saved your life. And so this was just, next man up. And I was in a position in that house where I could do some fighting and get these guys out. Because the day before and the day after, we did 21 days in Fallujah, and we're talking about close quarter combat. We're exchanging fire 5 feet away.
Oh, for 21 days? 21 days, brother? God bless
21 days, the Battle of Fallujah, and that was a Marine Corps-led fight. I was in the Army, but the Army gets a lot of credit, but the Marine Corps, they were doing this for a very long time. But again, my grandfather was in the Normandy campaign, and I would hear stories growing up about, fighting Germans and the Japanese. This was my generation's Normandy Beach. Fallujah was, Marines and sailors and airmen and soldiers together fighting against one side. Yeah. And we took a lot of loss, but at the end of the day, those guys who sacrificed for us are the reason why we came home.
Buffalo, New York, Sergeant. Buffalo, New York. Do you go home? Do you walk the streets? I mean, you're so popular now. You're the icon that you are. Do you go back just to gain strength by going back to the city from which you come from, sir?
Well, I'll tell you what, I get a whole lot more street credit talking to Joe Piscopo today. That's going to be you're on the Rushmore of Italian Americans. We got DiMaggio and Marciano and Piscopo.
You're the best.
Seriously though, it's so crazy. Buffalo is a great town, and obviously a ton of patriotic people there, and they appreciate their vets. But what's cool is that this is really something that every veteran is sharing. I have Vietnam guys who were just shamed. They didn't wear their uniform when they come home. They're coming up to me with tears in their eyes, and they're finally getting the love and the respect that they deserve. So it's something that we share together in Buffalo, and all vets have been really cool, and we're all doing this together.
Yeah, talking about the Italian-American community, it's so funny. They said, Joe, we want you to do the Italian Festival. This was not too long ago, maybe 5-7 years, something like that. Joe, we want you to do the Italian Festival in Buffalo. And I go, oh, great, what's the theater? Where did it was like outside. Dave, it was outside, man. It was in the streets of Buffalo, man. And I couldn't do a sound check because it was like outside. So they go, okay, Joe, you're on. So we rehearsed at like some kind of bar or something with the band, and then you're on. I stepped up 5,000 people, all in the streets of downtown Buffalo, and one of the greatest moments performance-wise ever. God, what a great town, and the Italian-American spirit is just spectacular, man.
Let me tell you something. On Columbus Day, Jack Jacobs said, "Hey, I need you to come to Jersey for Columbus Day." I'm like, "What's the deal? You're not even Italian. What the hell are you inviting me for?" And he goes, "Joe Piscopo's going to be there." I'm like, "I'm in. Lock it in. I want to see Joe Piscopo."
Jack's got some Italian in him, man. He goes to the Italian American club like that. David, I can't. You're such a great guy, and we're just so honored to have you on the show and to know you as well. And we want you to please come back anytime. What are you going to do next? I mean, you could do anything that you want now, and hopefully one of those things you'll do is always come back to our program. But what in your life do you want to do next, Sergeant? What are you thinking?
I want to serve my country. The Army's given me an opportunity to help recruit. The thing about the Army is that there's 1,000,007 reasons why we're divided as a country. And in the military, none of those things matter. I don't care what you look like or who you worship, who you love. You want to get shot at from me? I'm going to follow you. I'm going to lead you. I'm going to bring you home. Maybe more civilians can learn from what our men and women are doing in uniform.
That's a Medal of Honor, David Bellavia, Bronze Star Medal, Army Commendation Medal, 2 of those, 2 Army Achievement Medals, Overseas Service Bars, now Medal of Honor recipient. We are so proud to know you, David. God bless you, Sergeant. Thank you for your service, and Godspeed, my friend.
All right, I'll see you on Columbus Day.
Oh, you got to do it, man. Come on. We'll do a couple of Italian songs together. That would be an honor for me, man. Let's do it, all right?
I look forward to it. You take care, sir.
Thank you, David. Thank you so much, Staff Sergeant David.